Welcome to the Queen's Lair, a lifestyle podcast. Get inspired by our latest tips and information about small business, entrepreneurship, natural hair, travel, food, and even relationships. Stay tuned for another great episode. I am your host, Renee Patrice. Welcome back, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning into my podcast once again. I'm going to do like a little 7-part series. I've got several episodes that I want to share. And I got this article from Business to Community, and I just think this was really great. And it literally has 7 branding strategies and how you go about branding business or how you go about branding yourself. So I'm going to do these short episodes that are going to go over these different branding strategies. Okay. So the one that I'm going to cover today is personal branding. And I'm just going to read this snippet here because I think it's amazing. Personal branding is what describes branding that's used for an individual, right? So for an individual person, instead of you branding for an entire business, like an actual product, like a soda, your candy bar, that kind of thing, you are looking at branding for the person. So this is something that establishes your persona within the market, right? So what type of personality are you trying to create as a brand? This is often used for influencers, politicians, celebrity types, public figures. This is what they use to brand their individual selves. So when you are out there and you are trying to get your name out there and establish your personal brand, what are you bringing to the table? Are you an author? Do you have books that you want to bring to the table? Are you some sort of let's say crypto expert? I know crypto and Bitcoin and all that stuff is, huge right now. Are you into NFTs? Whatever it is, if you're known for your stock, information or your trading information, these are the things that you would bring to the table as you being an expertise on this particular subject matter. So when you see people like MJ Harris, who talks about financial stuff all the time, when you see people like Susie Orman, these folks are working their individual brands, their personal branding. They themselves physically are the brand. And then they may have, that doesn't mean that they don't have products. They may have products, they may have services, but they themselves are the brand. So when they go on a television show to talk about whatever their expertise is, the person is not bringing on the sport drink that they've created. No, they're bringing them on to speak to them as individuals on their particular persona, their personality. I'm trying to give you all the things, when you are building your personality, when you're building your persona, it is a tough thing to do because you have to kind of decide from out the gate what it's going to be, right? I'm not talking about creating something fake, right? But some people do. Some people come up with a persona and this is what their personal brand is known as, or they come up with a particular character, I would say this. My suggestion would just be real. Be yourself, be your authentic self, and let people connect with that. It's so much easier to not have to create something. It's so much easier, honestly, to not have to create something that is fake. It's so much easier to just be yourself and let that build your personality. Let people get to know who the real you is. I know that's not easy for a lot of folks. They feel like they have to put on airs or, they have to be a certain way. And, the way sometimes when you watch television and you see some of these talk shows, especially the ones where the ladies are all sitting at the table, sometimes you can see, because each of them is their own personal brand, right? And sometimes you can see them looking in the camera a certain way, or, adjusting their hair all the time, And to me, that shows a person that may not be very comfortable in their own personal brand, or they feel like they have to go over the top personality, come in being extremely loud, even though that's not their actual personality. The easiest thing that you can do is be yourself. So that when people do meet you in person, they're like, oh my goodness, they are just like how they are. I love when people say that. If people listen to my podcast and then they meet me in person, they're like, oh my gosh, you sound exactly like how you sound on the podcast. And that's interesting to me, because I'm like, well, I wonder what they were thinking that I was going to sound like, because a lot of people even change the inflections in their voice and, talk a little bit higher or talk a little bit lower or more sultry or, whatever. And I'm like, it's too much work. And I got to tell this to clients all the time, or even potential clients, when they say, well, what do you see about me? What do you think? I'm like, I see you, the individual person. There's no reason for you to be anything else but yourself. Come to the table with your authentic self and let things naturally progress from there. All right? So personal branding, yes. Make sure that when you are branding your personal, that you say, okay, if I'm going to speak very frankly with people know that when I do my podcast, I'm very transparent. I'm very frank. I get to the point. I, say what's on my mind. If that's how you're going to do your personal branding, then do it that way. If you want to be a little bit more reserved, be a little bit more reserved. It's your right, right? So make sure you lay all of those things out. Write it out, how you want people to perceive you, and just fill in the blanks with your authentic self and go from there. Personal branding. Okay? So that's the first one. In our next part, we're going to talk about product branding. Okay? All right. So if you guys have any questions about this, follow me on social media at Onyx Queen Media. Instagram is where I am the majority of the time. I'm not really on the other social media. It's too tough. But Instagram is the place. If you want me to tag you, if you tag me and let me know that you're listening to the podcast, I will then return the love and I will post you and tag you in my stories. Pass this podcast around to people that you think would be interested. Like, share, subscribe, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Bye. Online savings simplified. Don't search for coupon codes ever again. With one click, Honey's smart shopping assistant will automatically apply discounts to your cart in seconds. Save on all your favorite things. Easily pay less for products you're already buying online. It's as easy as 1, 2, 3. Join Honey for free. It takes 2 clicks to add Honey to your Chrome, Safari, Firefox, or Opera browser. Find savings in seconds. While you shop, Honey will find working promo codes across the entire internet, and you save instantly. With one click, Honey will apply the best deals to your cart. It's that easy. So what are you waiting for? Get Honey. Download it today. Visit our link, www.tinyurl.com/ONYXHONEY. That's www.tinyurl.com/Onyx Honey. Start saving right now.